Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Myth Busting. I've been busy on Twitter asking what things you would all like to know about 1.11 and I have picked out 11 questions to answer in this episode of Minecraft Myth Busting. So before we get into it, I do just want to say, as always, if you have any questions of your own, leave them in the comment box down below, and if you want to, leave a like on the video. As always, thanks for the support. Let's jump right into it. Question number 1 is, do the llamas attack tamed wolves? It's a pretty simple question, but maybe not if you haven't seen llamas in the wild with wolves. So we've got a couple of llamas on that side, a couple of wild wolves over here, and you can see that straight away they start attacking them, which is pretty hilarious. And of course the question is, what if these wolves were tamed and we were the owner? So I've got 2 tamed wolves, which I can demonstrate to you by making them sit. They've also got a couple of fancy collars. We're actually going to keep them seated right now while we spawn in the llama. We'll give the llama the chance to make the first move. And look at that, we've learned something here. They're not doing anything. Right, let's let these guys roam around. Let's push them, get them a little bit closer. It looks like we have an answer here. The llamas aren't doing anything at all. Okay, so now what we're going to do is spawn in a regular wolf. This is a wild one. And are they going to attack it? Yes. Yes, they are. So no worries if you've got some pets in your base and you want to bring some llamas in. They're not going to attack your tamed wolves. Question number 2. Does the curse of vanishing work when you have the game rule keep inventory on? So every item in this glorious set of shiny diamond armor has the curse of vanishing, which means it will disappear upon death. However, we will have the keep inventory game rule set to true, and now we're going to kill ourselves by typing /kill. Bam, there we go. We respawn, and you can see that we actually keep all of our items, despite them having the curse of vanishing. And I seem to remember reading somewhere that Mojang had already thought about this and made it so these items would vanish, which hasn't happened, so now we're going to die of natural causes, aka standing in lava, which is going to take a moment. And there we go. So this time we didn't use the kill command, we died in a survival way, and when we respawn, nope, we still have the items. Fascinating. Question number 3, are Vindicators able to pick up items like a better axe than their iron axe? So this is a very simple test. What we need to do is spawn in a ridiculous amount of Vindicators. And if you're wondering, I got the max entity cramming game rules set to off. So now we have an astonishingly large amount of Vindicators in that small space, which means we have a large sample size for this test. So we are going to chuck them, first of all, lots of diamond axes. So there we go, a few of those go in. Let's also chuck them some armor as well. And the disappointing thing here is that they don't pick any of them up. As you can see, I picked up all of those items myself. So not one of them out of the 240 odd were able to pick up those items. And just to double check, there's now 150 of them that have been spawned in with a spawn egg instead of using the summon command. And once again, they are unable to pick up any of the items. So Vindicators can't pick up items, but it's not all bad news because I found a really cool way to get rid of lots of Vindicators all at once. Just change your max entity cramming rule and they'll all die in a big puff of smoke. Question number 4, now that we have shulker boxes, how many items can we actually store inside of an ender chest? So it's really just a case of doing the maths. A ender chest has 27 slots, so does a shulker box, and if we store 64 items in each space in the shulker box, that's 1,728 items. So with 27 filled up shulker boxes inside your ender chest, that would be a whopping 46,656 items. But wait, there's more. Things are never that simple, are they? Because you could choose to store blocks of gold. That's right, and what can blocks of gold do? They can be crafted down into ingots, which means you could store 419,904 ingots. Incredible, right? But wait, there's more, because of course you can turn ingots into nuggets, and that means in total you could store 3,779,136 nuggets inside an ender chest. Question number 5 regarding the llama again. If it's accidentally attacked by a skeleton, i.e. the arrow hits it, will the llama attack back? So this will be another simple one. We're just going to put a skeleton in here. We won't burn in the daylight because of that block. And on this side we will put a llama. then we can set ourselves down and go into game mode 0, which is survival mode. So we stand here, the skeleton is now going to try and shoot us, and he's actually going to shoot the llama instead. So now if we come around the corner and change our game mode, you may have saw it there, the llama spit at this guy. Go on, do it again. You're going to spit at him. I think he's hitting the barrier blocks. There you go, he got him. Excellent. And now the llama's dead. GG. And just again so it's a little bit clearer, there you go. We can see the llama's spit hitting the skeleton nice and easy now. Question number 6. What is the average amount of shulkers you can expect to find in an end city? So this may sound like a very tedious process, but over the years we've had some very useful commands added into this game, and one of them is the locate command. So using this we can easily find our way to end cities, which is pretty cool. And then when we're there, what we can do is use this command, test for @e type shulker, and then it's going to tell us how many shulkers it's found in the area, which is 6 right here. So that means that there are 6 shulkers in this end city. Now I can move on to the next one and count how many there are there, and over time we'll work out an average. Another thing I do want to mention though is that I'm going to turn down my render distance, because that means we're scanning a smaller area for shulkers when we run that command. Now I couldn't see any end cities nearby, and usually there aren't one in another like eye shot of the one that you're at. So with our render distance turned down, that should mean when we run this command we'll be hitting up all of the shulkers that are at the end city we're visiting. I've just got to say it, this end city right here is absolutely ginormous. This is the biggest one I think I have ever seen. I've visited 25 of these end cities in total, and here is the average amount of shulkers that we have found. Now I don't think that that number is particularly useful, and in this series what I like to do is provide you with useful information. So what I'm going to do is share the entire results with you right now. So you can see that there are 4 different categories, and the one behind us I would categorize as a medium-sized end city. So hopefully that gives you a rough idea of what to expect. But no surprise, the bigger the end city, the more shulkers there are. If you want to extract some sort of average number from these numbers right here, then I will leave you to do so. But otherwise, I hope you find that information useful. Question number 7 is for the llamas once again. These can group up into what are known as caravans. The question is, how many llamas can you have in a single caravan? Well, if you've been watching my recent episodes of Hermitcraft, you'll already know the answer for this, but for you that just watch Mythbusting, we're going to grab one of the llamas in this massive crowd, and then we're going to lead them out of here, which will show us the maximum amount, as no more llamas will join this caravan, even though there's a huge amount of them hanging around here. So I've led them quite far away from the other llamas, and you can see that there are 10 in total, and that also includes baby llamas. So we've learned something for sure. If you already knew about 10 llamas in a caravan, baby llamas will also join them. Question number 8. Does resetting the chunks of a woodland mansion mean you'll get exactly the same woodland mansion again? Well, it turns out that you can't just delete the chunks in the world and expect the woodland mansion to respawn. You have to create a new world every single time. So what I've been doing is using the same seed, teleporting to the same coordinates, and finding that the woodland mansion is the same every single time. The building is the same shape, and also the rooms are in the same layout as well, which will probably mean that the way these things are generated is linked to the seed of the world. So we didn't exactly answer the question that we asked in the beginning, but we've answered a very similar one. In other words, you know, the woodland mansion is always going to be the same because it appears to be linked to the world seed. Question number 9. If a shulker box is dropped onto the ground, will it despawn like a regular item does? So unsurprisingly, after 5 minutes all of the shulker boxes despawned, and 3 of them had items in, 2 of them didn't, so that makes no difference whatsoever. However, in the process of giving them some items, I noticed something. If you break a shulker box with no items in creative mode, it doesn't drop anything. If you break one that does have items in, then it drops the shulker chest. Interesting little thing that we've learned. But unfortunately, they do despawn after 5 minutes, just like regular items. Question number 10. Did they change the sound of XP? I'm going to tell you the answer straight away. This hasn't actually changed. When I saw this in my Twitter feed, I knew exactly what they were referring to. I believe my buddy Iskal was under the impression that this had changed in 1.11. I was watching his video, he was saying, listen to the XP sound, doesn't that sound great? It's different now, something like that. This hasn't actually changed. I've been looking at all the change logs. What we're going to do though is a comparison just to make sure. So I'm going to be quiet for a second. That's the sound of XP in 1.11. Now let's check it out in 1.10. So this is what happens to a world when you roll back from 1.11, and don't worry, I have made a backup, but here we go. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, I think he's got a point actually. There is no mention of this change anywhere. It could be that the sound itself hasn't actually changed, but the pitch at which it plays has, and that hasn't really been noted anywhere. I couldn't find it in any change logs, but there you go, it is definitely different. And the final question, number 11, can you have 2 caravans of llamas at once? So this is a fantastic question. I never thought of trying this myself. When I found out that there were 10 llamas in a caravan, it was like, okay, 10's the limit. But what if you tried to make a second caravan? Oh my goodness me! Are you kidding me? You can make 2 caravans? That's fantastic. Do you know what we have to do now? We have to make 3 caravans. Let's see how many of these we can actually get. What an absolutely hilarious sight! There doesn't seem to be any limit to the amount of caravans you can herd at once. And these llamas are extremely good at staying in a caravan, by the way. I mean, there's still a few here that aren't joining because probably all my current ones are full up. So let's pick out another one. Then let's keep spawning more llamas. And look, they just go straight into the caravan. That's absolutely amazing. Wow. And that concludes another episode of Minecraft Myth Busting. I do hope you have enjoyed it. I had a really great time recording this one. As always, leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Thank you for the support. And check out the Myth Busting playlist if you want to see more myth busting. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.